Let us consider the numerical. There are the two generators G1 and the G2 which are identical and rated 11 kV, 20 MVA and have a reactance of 0.25 per unit at own MVA base. And there are the two transformers which are also identical having the voltage of 11 bar 66 5 MVA and there is a reactance of 0.06 per unit to their own MVA base. So there is a total length of the transmission line is 50 kilometers. So each conductor has a reactance of 0.848 ohm per kilometer. This is in terms of ohm per kilometer. So there is a three-phase fault which is going to be takes place assuming that 20 kilometers from the generator G1. Okay, from here to here it is 20 kilometers. Okay, let's solve this. Okay, so what is the voltage of the generator is 11. Transformer is of 11 bar. Okay, 11 bar 66. Okay, 66. This is also same 66 bar 11. Okay, so here we need to consider the total length is of 50 kilometer. Okay, 50 kilometer length of the transmission line, but the fault which is going to take place from the G1 to the fault is of 20 kilometer. Okay, so it means that other side of the circuit is of at 30 kilometers. Okay, this is the length of 20. Fine, this is at 30 kilometer away. So it means that we are dividing total length of 50 kilometers into 30 and 30. Okay, we need to consider that the base values. So which one is the highest for this chapter? So that is a base. 20 m is a base. We are considering that. So base voltage is of 11 kV for the generator G1. Okay, and how you are transferring that? Similarly, base voltage on transmission line side is equal to low voltage side into high voltage rating of the transformer divided by low voltage rating of the transformer. So I'll get 66. So no need to write that again. Old value and new value. Anyhow, I will write. Okay. So new value will become 66. So this is also old value is also 11. Okay. So G2 also will get 11 kV. Okay. New values. Then we have to calculate what is the reactance of generator G1, transformer T1, T2 and the G2 value, and we have to draw the reactance diagram. Okay, so here reactance of the generator is for the generator we have 0.25. So we are not writing the equation because it is based on their own MVA base, right? So 20 by 20, 11 by 11 will get cancels. So I'll get 0.25 per unit. Okay, then next we have transformer. Okay, reactance of transformers. So we know that formula xt new is equal to xt old. This is supposed to be in, okay, yes, sorry, this is for the T1 transformer new is equal to transformer T2 new value. So that is equal to old value into MVA base new by MVA base old into kV base for old value divided by kV base per new value. So we have the reactance of 0.06. MVA new is 20 MVA. Old value is of 5 MVA for the transformer, and the voltage which we are considering is ST side. So old value 66, new value is also 66. We will get 0.24 per unit. Then for the transmission line, I told that the total length of 50 kilometers we have to convert to the required value of 20 and the 30. Okay, so let's for 20 kilometer. So we know the formula xpu is equal to x in ohm into MVA base by kV base square. We have the reactance of 0.848 multiplied by 20. This is for the length of the transmission line. Okay, we are considering for 20 kilometer. Then MVA base is 20. The what is the voltage on the transmission line is 66. We'll get 0.778 per unit. So for the 30 kilometer, similar, you need to multiply it by 30. Okay, so MEA base is 20 and volt value is 66 square. We will get 0.1167 per unit. Okay, based on that, we need to draw a single line diagram. For this is a generator, transformer. So this is for 20 kilometer of the length of the transmission line. This is for 30 kilometer of the transmission line because there is a fault at F. Okay, from here it is 20, from here it is 30 kilometer. Then again it is for the transformer and the generator G2. So what will happens because of this fault which is going to take place at this point? So this means we have to make sure that the source of EMF is short circuited or neglected. Okay, so this is a 0.24, 0.24, 0.25, 0.24 and the 0.0778. So effective will come in series. So these 0.1167 and 0.24 plus 0.25, these values are connected in series. Then the parallel combination. Okay, so all these values is coming in series. Again these values are connected in series. Okay, at this point it is parallel. Okay, so this is a value 0.5678 and 0.0, sorry, yes, 0.607 6067. So these connected in parallel, so effective value will become 0.2933. Then we know the formula that MVA short circuit is equal to MVA base by Z per unit. So we know that MVA base is 20 and Z per unit what you got is 0.2933. So from this we will get MVA short circuit. Okay, 68.18 MVA. So this is the value of the short circuit we got. So in the earlier problem we were supposed to get the sum reactances for the circuit breaker. Now we are finding that what is the fault current which is required, and also we know that we have done a derivation. Okay, that MA short circuit is equal to root 3 into V base into I of 10 to the power of minus 3. Okay, we know that the where the base voltage is of 66. Where is the 50? Where we got this 66? We got from the transmission line. Okay, that is the base value of the voltage. Okay, 66. Okay, substitute this. We know MA short circuit is 68.18 root 3. V base we know that we can able to calculate what is the fault current which is flowing. Okay, this is the value of the fault current. After doing substitution, that MA short circuit is 68.18 divided by root 3 and the voltage is 66. Okay, and the voltage will, sorry, the current will get is 596.4 amperes. So that we have to see to that the, and we need to understand that this is a what kind of problem we are going to solve it. Okay, do not get confusion between this MV short circuit and the problem what we solved for calculating that fault current. Let us consider another numerical, that is a 25 MVA 13.8 kV generator with XD double dash, that is nothing but subtransient reactance of 15% is connected through a transformer to the bus that is supplies four identical motors. You can see M1, M2, M3 and M4, and each motor has subtransient reactance of 20%. okay, and the transient reactance of 30% is on a base of 5 MVA 6.9 kV. Okay, the three-phase rating of the transformer is 25 MVA 13.8 bar 6.9 kV with a leakage reactance of 10%. The bus voltage at the motors is 6.9. Okay, so this is actual value 6.9. Okay, when there is a fault which is going to occur at the point P, okay, at the point P means before the motor. For the fault specified, we need to determine the four things. First one is subtransient current in the fault. Next one is subtransient current in the breaker A, okay, at this breaker A. Then next one is momentary current in a breaker A, okay, and the current to be interrupted by breaker A in 5 cycles. So this is the one. Before solving, so we have to note down what is the voltage on the generator. So this is of 13.8, okay, and for the transformer is also 13.8, okay, so this is 13.8 bar, just a minute, so this is a 6.9, okay, 6.9 kV. For the motor is also this is 6.9, right, okay, anyhow once again I will write that 6.9, okay. So here you have to observe that he has given both subtransient and the transient reactances. So it is mandatory to identify the subtransient and the transient values of the generator, transformer and the transmission line and for the motor. Okay, so this is very important. That's all. So solution, we have to consider the base value. I told that which one is having the highest MVA rating, that is the base. So generator is 25 MVA. Corresponding to that, what is the base voltage? That is the voltage, okay, 13.8 kV in the generator. Okay, then next we have to calculate what is the voltage on the other side. Okay, that is a motor. So that is nothing but so we know that the formula 13.8 into 6.9 divided by 13.8, we will get 6.9. So it means that, so whatever the value of so this is also 13.8. Okay, once again, all right, this is the old value and new value, this is new value, okay. So this is also new value is also 6.9, okay. So there is no change in the values, okay. So 6.9 value of the voltage will get across the water side. So next we have to calculate what is the reactance of generator here. So what we have to do is we have to calculate what is the subtransient and transient reactance of the generator, understand, and for the transformer and for the motor, okay. So it is mandatory. Earlier we were supposed to calculate only the value what they have mentioned, okay, but here we have to calculate both the things, subtransient and the transient, because he has mentioned, okay. So let's see, xd double dash that is equal to j.15. So no need to do the calculation because whatever the value of old and new values are same for the MVA and the voltage will get cancels, so we will get 0.15. So similarly, the transient reactance we have to calculate, that is also xd dash is equal to j.15. So if yes, because what you can observe here is that, so xd double dash is 15% is connected to a through a transformer to the bus, okay, and he has not mentioned that, so it is same as this. So we are assuming that, okay, we are assuming that we are thinking that the subtransient reactance is equal to the transient reactance, okay, same as the subtransient reactance, as it is not specified. If he is specified, then we have to take what is the value he has mentioned, okay. Then coming to the transformer, in the transformer there is no such thing that there is subtransient reactance and the transient reactances. So we have only the reactance. I think you can able to remember the things what we discussed in the beginning of the chapter, okay. So in the transformer there is no subtransient and transient reactances, is not depending upon, because we have done derivation is basically subtransient and transient reactances will vary, means which is mentioned for the generator and for the motor, not for the transformer and the transmission line. Okay, so this is value will be remains the same for transient and the subtransient reactance. Okay, then for the motors we have two things. Okay, this is for subtransient and this is for transient. Okay, so subtransient reactances is of 0.2 because 20% is, MENU is 25, volt value is 5 because he has mentioned. And what is the voltage on the motor is volt value 6.9, new value 6.9. Will get cancelled. We will get a point, sorry, 1 per unit. Okay, transient reactance is so it is of 30%, so it will become 0.3. MA base is 25 and volt value is of okay, volt value is of 5. Okay, voltage is 6.9 by 6.9 square, so we'll get cancels. Okay, we'll get cancels, so we'll get 1.5. so you have to remember here, this is subjected to subtransient of the motor, this is subjected to transient value of the motors. Next, what we have to do is we have to calculate what is the pre-fault voltage across the motor. Okay, the bus voltage at the motor is 6.9, means this is the actual value. So what is the value of the base value? It is 6.9. This is 6.9, this is also 6.9. Okay, because he has mentioned in the problem itself, right? He has mentioned that motor 6.9. Okay, so actual value, how to calculate the pre-fault voltage across the motor? You have to see where is the fault across the motor. Okay, that is equal to actual value divided by base value, so we'll get 1 per unit. And this is the base current in the 6.9 circuit, because we have to find out what is the value of the current across the motor at a point P. Okay, then so we know that how to calculate the base value of the current, that is equal to MA base divided by root 3 into kV base square, sorry, kV base. Okay, MA base is 25 MA divided by root 3, and what is the voltage across that? Considering the base value is 6.9, okay, you will get 2091.8 amperes. So this is the value of the base current across the motor. Then we have to write first one, the reactance diagram corresponding to subtransient values. Okay, by considering only the subtransient, okay, not the transient. We have to consider only the subtransient. Okay, so subtransient of the generator, this is for the transformer, right? And for all the motors, look at this, this is subjected to the subtransient value of the generator. Okay, this value remains the same, okay, for the transformer, and these for the value of the motors. Okay, what you have to calculate, we have to calculate the subtransient fault current. Okay, so subtransient fault current, how we will calculate that? IF value at this point is equal to, these values are connected in parallel, so multiplied by 4, 1 2 3 and the 4. Okay, 4, these are connected in parallel. Okay, so multiply these values, multiplied by 4. Okay, what is the value is 1 j1 plus, adding up these things, that's nothing but 0.15 plus 1, so we'll get 0.25. Okay, by making this we'll get j8 ohm minus j8, sorry, it's not ohm, it is minus j8 per unit. So we have to calculate what is the absolute value of the current. So how we will get that absolute value of the current? Multiply this per unit to the base value of the current, that is 2091.8. so we'll get J16 means 16,734.4 amperes. That much of the current which is flowing across this point. Okay, fault. Then next we have to calculate what is this. We have to calculate what is the subtransient current across the breaker A. Where is the current across the breaker A? That we have to see in the diagram. Okay, in the single line diagram. So that is nothing but the breaker A which is there before the motor 4. Okay, before the motor 4 means at this point there is a breaker what we are considering. Okay, so it means that, so if there is a presence of the breaker, it is get isolating the motor 4. Okay, so that's why we are considering that I double dash is equal to 3 into 1 divided by J1. Why it is 1? Because, okay, what will happen, because this breaker will be get open. Okay, this breaker will be get, means this this motor will be get open. So that's why only 1, 2 and 3 motors are get connected, and this is same. Okay, this is same, so we'll get minus J7 per rate. So absolute value multiplied by the base value of the current, so that is a 2091.8, we will get 14,642.6 amperes. The next one, so we have to calculate the momentary current in the breaker A. So that is nothing but we know that which is accounted for the DC offset current. What do you mean by DC offset current? That is, we have done a derivation that, so when we are multiplying this, okay, 1.6, that is the account for, okay, that is the account for the DC offset current that we have to multiply. Okay, so when we are multiplying 1.6 into the absolute value of the current, so we will get the momentary as momentary current across the breaker A. So this is what we have to remember. Next thing is, last one, we have to calculate what is the current to be interrupted by breaker. So it is required to obtain the subtransient transient rate, means, okay, we need to compute the current to be interrupted by breaker A. Okay, it is, to calculate this we need to obtain a transient reactance of the model. So this is subject to subtransient. Now we have to draw a only of the transient reactance. Okay, so transient reactance already we have done the calculation that for the generator is 0.15, for the transformer it is 1, for the motors is 1.5, all the values. Okay, so here we have to see that there is the breaker at this point. Okay, again this part is going to be get isolated. Understand, this part is going to be isolated. Okay, so that's why these values are connected in series of the three. Okay, this point is isolated means, okay, okay, let's see. So this is isolated part. Okay, so 1, 2 and the 3. Okay, 3 into 1 by J 1.5, so this value is 0.25, so we'll get a minus J per rate. Then what you have to do is we have to multiply the DC offset current with a factor 1.1, therefore current to be interrupted. So how you got this? Okay, the multiplying factor. Okay, this is what is the current is interrupted by breaker A is, we got it is 6. Okay, you can know that it is 6 into 2091. So 2091 what we got is base current. Then what is that 1.1? From where you got this? Okay, actually in the examination they will mention that what is the speed of the circuit breaker and the multiplying factor. If there is a 8 cycles or more, we have to multiply it by 1. For the 5 cycles we have 3 variant, that is 1.1, 1.2 and 1.4, and for 1.5 cycle you need to multiply it by 1.5. So here we are accounting for the 5 cycle, so either we have to multiply 1.1, 1.2 or 1.4. Considering the first one, we are multiplying that, it is 1.1. Okay, into 6 into 2091, so we'll get 13,805.88 amperes. So this is something different, subjected to the transient and the subtransient value of the current.